cloud. Okay, hopefully. Okay. Hi, Mariah. As you can see, I've got my angelic energy today. I okay. Deep breath. Today is the 26th of July, correct? 27th. Okay.
27.
I don't know if you guys know about the big astrological aspect going on tomorrow or not, or actually it started yesterday. No, okay. Well, today it wasn't just me, obviously it was you as well. I couldn't get any internet to work where I normally work in this little building my husband built for me. And also on top of it, there was it's a hot box because he's working on getting an air conditioning unit in there and it's going to be 106 today. And we're in this heat wave. Okay, I know that we're only in one small part of the world, but this is very telling, I think, for like everything that's going on. So we have this big heat wave, right? I don't know about you. I went out last night at like 9:30 and it was like freaking 88 degrees. I was like, this is insane. It felt weird. Like we're in Oregon. So,
Did you hear that on Thursday and Friday where we live, it's going to be 112?
Yeah. When I first moved here when I was 13, just many, many years ago, I remember I lived in the Eugene area at the time. And my mother said, we're moving to Medford. And I remember thinking, what is Medford? I didn't even know. I was like, I had to look it up. We didn't have internet back then. So I had to kind of, I don't know how I looked it up, but I looked on a map probably. Oh, that's where Medford is. It was 104, it was 112 the day I arrived here.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So it's not uncommon to get that hot, but it's like, I remember, and we rented this house and I have a brother and a sister. So there was 5 of us total. There was one bedroom and it was their bedroom that had a little tiny, one of those window air conditioning units. Yeah. It was so hot. We just hung out in there.
Yeah.
Okay. So we know it's hot. All right. We just happen to be in Leo season. I'm in my place where the sun is coming in. I normally don't like to do this because obviously you can see I've got all this stuff going on and I'm trying to find but then like if I move my camera too much this way, you see my messy room, it's like, whoa, where do I go? And then I was sweating in the hot box and I was like, I'm going to make it work. And then the internet wouldn't work. And then my headphones wouldn't work. And then my laptop, you buy these new laptops. This is actually a gifted laptop to me for my work, but my other work. And I was like, it has all those new plugs in it, right? So I'm like, I don't have any headphones that work in the new plugs, but then magically, I didn't realize there's a hole in the side, so I can use one of the old-fashioned kind of plugs in this laptop. So that worked out. Yeah, so I can. Yeah, so I finally got it working. And then I tried to get into my business Zoom account, and my personal one is the only one I can use. So hopefully this actually records properly and stays on. Like I have the space to hold it, but it's just been. And then my dogs are following me around like everywhere. I have to be inside because it's too hot outside already. So yeah. Anyway, that's my morning and my cold coffee and the angels are with me. If I just do this, maybe it'd be like really cool. Like, woo, look at that. I got all this light going on. Anyway, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Very angelic right now.
Yes, thank you. Well, maybe that's the purpose, right?
So energetically talk to me about that because my morning's been a shit show as well. So everything of and I feel like it's been like that for like more than just this morning. Like it's been like this for God, like at least 2 days, maybe 3 days already. Yeah. Like, it's super tense, and what the heck is going on in the universe right
now? Okay. Have you guys spill the beans? Okay. Well, I'm not guessing. I'm using my intuition, but I do know there is one kind of like thing that's happening. There's something called the Lions Portal. Lionsgate Portal.
Bark in just a minute. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. My dogs were insane this morning. I was like, get in the house. Yeah. I was like, get in the house because I'm going outside. And then I had to go, ooh, I like the way I've got like little rainbows when I okay. I'm not sweating at all. No.
That
okay.
totally fits with everything we literally just talked about.
All right.
I love it.
So okay. Yesterday, the 26th, there's something called the Lionsgate portal. And there's a lot of great people out there giving great information on all the details here. I'm trying to get out of the sun a little bit, so it's not just like in my face. Here we go. What the Lionsgate portal is it's when the star Sirius aligns with the sun. They're in conjunct. They're like in alignment. And sorry, I'm gonna just keep moving until the sun decides to go past that damn tree. Okay. Sorry. There we go. That's a little better. There's a lot of little things I want to talk about. I mean, we might as well, if we're just sort of shooting the shit right now. But so the Lionsgate portal opens on the 26th of July and closes on, oh gosh, I have it right here in front of me. August. The August 8th is when it's its peak, between the 6th and the 8th. And every year it's during this time. So every year. And sorry, everyone. I thought I had it. I think it's the 25th. It's a couple weeks long. So it started on the 26th. It goes till the 8th, the 6th to the 8th of August is when it's the biggest. The 8th of August is when it's supposed to be like the most powerful. And 8 is, in numerology is a very manifest, it's the big manifestation number. It's about abundance. And, if you're going to manifest, you want to do it on an 8 day, or if you have a lot of 8 in your chart, you're someone probably who like things come easy to, and, you can manifest easily. And the reason I'm saying this is because I'm kind of stumbling through it, and I'm just using what's coming to me and what my guides are telling me to talk about around it. But there's a lot of detailed information out there on the internet, whether it's blogs or videos or whatever that people are putting out right now, actually. So the Lionsgate portal is a pretty big deal because the Mayans and the ancient Egyptians, they celebrated this day as kind of like the New Year, because it was the time between the past and the present. I'm sorry, the past and the future. It's like where time resets itself kind of in their mind. It was like a beginning of a new cycle. And which is kind of interesting. I think it was only because the planet Sirius, it has something to do with that. It's not necessarily like, like when we look at the calendar, what they call the Gregorian calendar, whatever they call it, it's like spring is the new beginning of the year. The first sign of the zodiac is Aries, so it's always spring as the beginning of something new, and winter's the ending, that kind of thing. But July, so between this period, but peaking on the 8th is when, if you want to make some manifestations, this is the frickin' time to do it, and you want to really focus on what you want. And what the idea is that it's about being in the present. And it's funny because how lately, I don't know about you, but lately, like, things have been so like, you literally small things, even like just the idea of this present thing. I was at the lake yesterday with my daughter. We were hanging out, and I said, I've been waiting. It was weird. I had this thought in my head, and I've been waiting for a time to say it. And it was such a dorky little thing, but it was like, your present is the present. And I don't know, it kept going on in my head all day yesterday. And then when we were at the lake and she said something, and I go, your present is the present. And she's, it was silly, but it was like the idea that like all these things are coming in, like in your head. And then all of a sudden you see it. I mean, we talk about that a lot, but for me, the last couple of days, it's been like just silly, weird things, but a lot, like almost like I can see the fabric of like how I thought about this and I thought about this, and that person said this. And then the next day it's like, it all came together. And so that's happening a lot right now, even more than normal, because the timelines are kind of, from what I understand it, from what I've been reading and what I'm intuiting into this, it's sort of like the energy of letting go. We've been doing a lot of letting go, talking a lot about letting go, and then into this new, not just timeline, because this happens every year. We're talking new, like right now, we're in new territory. Like we're moving into new ways of being as beings, energetic beings. Like our bodies are upgrading. Everything is like, so when you're like, you guys are talking about like being a woman and having a cycle, it could be really tough. I mean, I know last month, it was really tough for someone I knew. And I was like, it's Leo season. Leo season in general can be big because it's just like heavy, fiery energy. But this Lionsgate portal, and it happens every year. It's just, if you're not aware of it, you just move on your life, and maybe things happen, think about it, maybe they do. But what's interesting to me, and I keep saying this in my head, so I'm going to say it. I don't know why I keep saying it. This is just me going a little deeper, but the pyramids, because this is when Sirius also lines up with the pyramids. This is why it was such a big, important day. And, there's pyramids all over the world. So, it makes sense why the Mayans would do it as well. Celebrate this day, because Sirius is such a big, important star. And the Syrians, as far as our brothers and our friends in space, and other planets, they are very connected to us. And in fact, there's probably many Syrians walking on this planet right now and helping us out, whatever. So, and a lot of us are have lifetimes on Sirius right now, anyway. The lion, so the two pyramids used to have lion heads. The lion, you've seen the lion, in Egypt with he looks like his face is kind of rubbed off. It looks like a person, right?
Yeah.
That's actually a lion. Mm. It was a lion. And there were two of them. And I always look at that and think that, how could that look like a lion? Because it looks like a person, but it had a lion face. So it must have been kind of humanish at the time. I mean, but all these people I follow that do past life stuff or like remember their lifetimes, they all say the same thing. Those were two lions there, and there were two of them. And one lion. So this article I read this morning talked about the Lionsgate, and they were saying one lion was the past and one was the future. And the only way you could walk through the ascension process, or the idea of what ascension is, and in my opinion, I think that's misled word lately, because a lot of people are like ascension, and you think, oh, I'm just gonna like be an angel all of a sudden on earth or whatever. No, I think ascension is, I think that word has been sort of like, it's funny because that's something I had a conversation with someone the other day who talked about, I don't know if I'm ready for ascension. And I'm like, no, you're not. I think it's more about up leveling. I think we're using the word wrong. So it's about like up leveling your frequency. And they were saying the only way to go through those two lions was to be in the present. So I think that's my message today on that, is to really be in the present during this time. Think about what you want to manifest now. I've also watched a woman this morning, or I listened to her, who was doing cards, tarot, and she was doing them on the divine feminine and divine masculine during this Lionsgate portal. And I totally agree with her. Everything is about all these things that we've been holding on to, that we've been wanting for all these years.
Right.
It's going to start coming. We're going to be rewarded for it. In other words, we keep thinking, oh, this year is the time I'm going to start this, or it's finally happening, or, and whether it's a business or a relationship or whatever it is that you've been working on for the last 14 years with Pluto going into Capricorn, and it ending its cycle, we're going to finally see we're always feeling like we're on the precipice, but we really are. And so there's this, I don't know about you, but for me, there's this even though everything's kind of like chaotic, there's this calmness of like knowing that I didn't have before, like almost kind of like letting go and going, I'm I'm kind of ready to just be the passenger in the seat, and you know what I mean?
Like
Yeah,
be okay no matter like what happens. Like the knowing that like it's all gonna work out. Because
yeah,
even though everything's falling apart, though it's the most chaotic time right now, there is that like calm, quiet peace of like whatever happens, happens.
yeah,
And you're okay with that. I think for the first time in a really long time.
yeah,
Freak out
yeah.
there. Could be because
So
we're so exhausted. You know,
so nice to hear you say that. No, it's really nice to hear you say that because I have been feeling that too. I just haven't shared it with anyone. That there's this sort of like, I mean, I know that there's people in my life who are having like lots of changes, like new beginnings, but I'm also at my age, like my husband is, looking at his new adventure in life, and he wants to retire from what he's doing. So he's making plans. My daughter's an age where she's leaving and she's making plans. So I kind of feel like for me, it feels like, you know, time wise and age wise, everybody's like leaning, it's almost like I could use that as, oh, well, that's because he's this age, or that's because he's tired of that, or that's because my daughter is this age, or that's because I'm this age, it's, but for like everybody else, then I think, but what about all the people who aren't at like that age? And I'm thinking it's happening for everyone. You know what I mean? I mean, I can't make excuses around it just because that, but
right.
yeah, I kind of got off on a tangent there, but yeah.
No,
So there's, yeah, but
point.
like you, I know that you've got a lot going on and you've got new beginnings and new things. And yeah, how are things going on in your life around this?
I mean,
Does that make sense to you real quick? Does that make sense to you?
oh,
The information I just gave you around the why it can be kind of like right now, it's pretty,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and that makes me feel so much better because it has been so like chaotic, but so like it's like a roller coaster of like the really, really good, like certain things in my life like are really, really good, but then other things in my life are like really taking a turn and it's like the complete opposite. But I'm like okay with it. I'm freaking out, you know what I mean? I'm just kind of like, oh well, okay, let's do this, like move on to the next like situation, or clean up this area, or hey, I can't do this, so I need to do this. And oh well, instead of doing the shoulda, woulda, couldas of I need to be or I should have been, I'm like, okay, well, here's where we are. So let's move on and let's, start with here and do this. And okay, let's not make that mistake again. And oh, hey, I don't really like that over there. So how can I look at that and, make it a little bit better, because I really don't want to have to keep dealing with that, because that's obviously a cycle and I'm done with that. So let's sit down and let's figure this out and let's plan this out and let's like make the plans. So I feel like even though everything is super chaotic in my life, I also feel like I'm the best I have ever been in order to be that person that I know that I am because of everything that's falling apart.
Yeah. So
That
you're
makes
really, yeah. So you're doing what I hope everybody's doing. I don't know. I have a feeling those people who aren't aware are just fighting the system. But it sounds like in the chaos there's a saying.
in the chaos.
Yeah, in the chaos there's stillness. In the stillness,
Yeah.
so there's a saying that I remember being told this years ago. In fact, that's what my tattoo represents on my back of my neck is there, and it's an old Taoist say, or Taoist, that's how you say it, I think. In the movement there is stillness, in the stillness there is movement. So when you think about the chaos, yeah, it's like you can get wrapped up in the chaos and you can get angry like a lion, or you can just be like the powerful lioness and be like, just, I got this covered, like, okay, like this morning, it was like one thing after another. And normally I would say to myself, okay, maybe someone's trying to tell me this isn't a good day to do a podcast or talk to you or whatever. But I just was calm. I just was like, well, I'll just do this. And then I remember thinking at one point going, should I heat up my coffee? Oh, Mariah's probably waiting for me. I need to hurry up. And I was like, no, I'm going to go heat up my coffee. I'm going to take a shower. So I guess my advice is like what you're doing for everyone is just walk through it calmly, because it's there purposely to, whether it's challenge you or open your eyes to something, or just be in the present. I mean, that's all you can do. You can't worry about like, you just got to be in the present. And I know it's easy to say. I know it's so easy to say. And there's a lot of people out there right now, you know, suffering. And I think with everything that's going on with the cost of things and the, you know, the squeezing of our lives, whether it's financial or personal, it's all like change doesn't happen without a little bit of uncomfortableness. And yeah, I don't know. Like, so there's a lot going on. I drew a card that I did draw one card this morning,
Yes.
thinking, oh, I'm gonna be really calm and I'm gonna draw cards and then we're gonna talk. Nothing worked out, but I drew a card and it was magnetism. And these are like earth cards, like kind of, and so I just was drawn to them this morning and I didn't really read about it, but I know this card. I've drawn it many times. And it's about the law of attraction. You know, it's about, and I thought it was very poignant for the fact that we're in this Lionsgate portal where we're really have the opportunity to focus on what we want. And what I'm hearing is everybody saying, really focus on what you want, not what you don't want. So I thought it might be really nice too, to like, if you didn't have an agenda about what you want to talk about today, talk a little bit about manifestation, because I think that I just had this conversation with a client yesterday, a kind of a friend who we're doing a trade. She is awesome and she's so intuitive, but sometimes when we're stuck in our thing, we get like, we can't see, right? We can't see what's in front of us and what we need to do. And I don't know, for some reason, there was just really interesting talk around the idea of the masculine and feminine, and understanding that the masculine creates the container for the feminine chaos to live within. And I just kept thinking to myself, like, visually, this is how I saw it, because I'm a very visual person. I was trying to give her an example of it, because, you know, she's not someone who probably really thinks about this a lot, is if there was a bubble, like a container, say a clear bubble, this bubble is strong, but it also has the ability to allow stuff in and out. And so this is the masculine energy. It holds it's a container that the feminine can be within the chaos, the swirling, the energy, right? And how I saw it in my head was all these colors, like all these brilliant colors swirling within. And that's where our dreams and our desires and our, everything we want to create. But we can't create if it's all over the place. It has to be within a container. So this is where the balance between the masculine and feminine is so important. And I think that we're out of whack a little bit lately. A lot of people are out of whack with, they're like, I'm just going to like ignore the divine masculine. I'm not going to, because it's, they have this idea that it's, we're talking about divine masculine. We're not talking about the patriarchy. And divine masculine is so special because it allows the creativity to happen. You can't create if you don't have a container to create in. So I imagined it like a canvas, a blank canvas being the divine masculine. And you have this palette of colors, right, on your that you're painting with. And if all you're painting with is what you're so you're thinking about, what do I want to paint? So if you're painting what's going on in your mind and your heart,
right, and
you're like, I'm fearful, I'm worried, oh my gosh, and you're thinking about all these things, all your colors are going to be like brown and red and green. This is going to be like blah, dull colors. But when you start having dreams and joys and things that bring you happiness, your color palette starts changing. It's like this brilliant, bright colors. And then you can start painting on this canvas. But every time you have a thought of worry or fear, your color palette changes. And all you have left is brown. There's no more yellow or pink or, fuchsia, all these beautiful colors. So however you look at, whether it's a canvas, whether it's a bubble and there's energy swirling within, the idea that like every time you have a thought of worry or fear that pops in that container, it changes the story. It changes the creation. It changes the picture. So you want to like immediately recognize it, see it for what it is, talk to it. Why are you here? Okay, out, back out the bubble. There's like a magic hole that it can go out of, and then the hole closes behind it. And we do it. It's going to happen because life is there. All these things are going to come in, but you cannot manifest something if all you're focused on is what you're worried about creating. The worry overtakes the creation, the fear. And it's hard. It's hard because we have bills to pay. We have children to take. We have things going on. We see gas prices. We see the world going nutty. If you're energetically sensitive, you're taking on the energy of everything that's happening. And
Right.
so it's like, but if you just keep knowing that you have the power to let those out of the bubble, not create the power, however you want to look at it, however you want to create that visual in your head, whatever works for you. It has to be though about bringing that energy back, bringing that color back, bringing that vibrancy back. And you can't manifest if all you're doing is worrying about what you don't have. It's hard, but this is the time to do it. And if it takes like creating an altar, if it takes like every day for the next 2 weeks, focusing on 10 minutes of this is what I want, maybe that's a good thing to do. But not what you don't want. You got to keep that crap out, because that will just, and it's hard, but this is the time to do it. There was something else around that though, before I wanted to let you bring what you thought about that. I guess that's it. I guess I just really like this idea of the divine feminine, divine masculine working together, and knowing that there's a lot of power within that.
Yeah.
And I actually drew a card the other day on my Isis deck, which I love. My favorite all-time deck. I got it from a friend for my birthday. I love it so much. And I drew Sekhmet, which Sekhmet is the lion goddess, which is another like kind of like connection of the dots that I thought, isn't that interesting? And then we're going into the Lionsgate portal. She is a lioness head, and she's normally attributed to almost like a Kali energy, where it's like war, death, destruction. If you look at it's so fascinating when you look at all of the lists, because I started Googling like different people and what their story was around Sekhmet. And all of their stuff was very similar to Apollo, the Greek goddess Apollo, where it's like the sun, which is fascinating because there's the lion and the sun. She's very connected to the sun. In fact, I think she's supposed to be a daughter of Ra. But anyway, and the sun can nurture and heal, and it can also scorch and kill, right? She's a healer and she's a killer. They literally have like both sides of her. And so I thought, isn't that interesting? Because but what's a healer and a killer? That's transformation, right? You're killing out. There's just a lot of like connecting of the dots around the time right now. Anyway, okay, I gotta zip it for a bit. I want to hear about what you think.
Actually, I think it's funny because everything that you just mentioned, I literally, as you were talking, was pulling cards, and like I got the storyline of what you were talking about just now. So I used my
share Urban Crow Oracle. That I've never seen that.
It's really cool. My bestie roommate got it for me, special order, and she got matching ones.
Oh, you like the crow? I forgot you're a crow. Yeah. Your spirit animal is a crow. Yes. That's brand new.
Yes, and I love it so much. And as you were talking about everything, I was just pulling, and it's literally like everything that you were just talking about. So the first card we got was waterproof, which I think is like symbolic of what we were just talking about just kind of like going through the storm. The storm is happening for everyone in your life, some more than others, but crows, their feathers are waterproof, and the water just kind of, comes off of their feathers, and it helps, especially in Oregon and stuff when we have rain. Panther. Sorry, there's another siren. I don't
Oh,
want
that's okay.
Panther. Hey, puppy.
Just let him howl. It's so sweet.
Sorry.
No, he's adorable. How, you know what? Howl away, Panther. Oh, poor babe.
Okay, puppy. Okay, well, if that message
He just let us know that was correct, right?
That's important, like let yourself and your energy be waterproof and let everything just kind of bounce off of you, and don't let it absorb, right? Like, just like you said, see it for what it is, be like, why are you here? And let it drip off of you.
Oh my God, I love that, because this bubble that I see, it's like energy can bounce, like once you just said, no, you don't belong here, I don't want this color, you go away, and it like tries to get back in, but it just bounces off like a bubble.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
So even everything is super hard, the next card that came after that was the Soar card. So talking about manifestation, you're talking about the most important day on the 8th, and how to manifest, and if you can't think of anything else, like talk about manifestation and stuff. So you can soar, right? So you literally, even though everything's happening and even though the chaos is happening, we're still in that calm state of like, okay, so how am I going to actually fix this for good this time, so I can be that best version of myself, so I can soar, so I can not continue these cycles and these patterns and all of this stuff that like I've been shown with all these past moons that have been illuminating and highlighting everything. I've then had a chance to really look at my shit. Really, sorry, my phone's letting me know my battery's low.
Oh no.
Yeah. Really looking at my stuff, really looking at everything. And so I can actually make the action steps to do that, to fix that. And we've been doing that. We've been working on it. Thank you so much. My roommate's saving my life.
Thanks, Chelsea. Because I was like, well, when it dies, then we're done. Our video's over. Yeah.
Okay, right. So because we've been working on our stuff, and like you said, things are manifesting, things are happening right now. They're coming faster and faster and faster. And so all of those things that we've been working on are really going to take us to this next level. Like you said, it's a new year, it's a new cycle. It's going to take us there. But this time we have luck on our side. The universe is on our side. You know what I mean? Yeah. All of the hard work we've been putting in has been paying off. And, don't freak out if you really haven't been doing the work. Do the work now. Start now. All of this is here for everyone. Luck is here. Like we have this opportunity. It's a very magical time. It happens every year, but this one's like extra potent, and it's for us all. We all can be lucky right now. We all can, have this opportunity because we've been working, because we've been letting things fall off, because we've been living in the present, because we've been doing all the things that we need to do. This is here for us. And it was funny because literally as you were talking about going to your altar, the Sacred Space card came out.
Oh, wow.
And I giggled a little bit. Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, like seriously, my roommate talking about, making our fireplace mantle an altar, and, life keeps happening and doing all of these things. And I have to get into that area to look for something, because there's just like one corner that's like, it's just kind of like the catch-all, right? And I was like, I need something in there. So I was like, the universe is literally making it to where I'm going to have to spend time organizing that area. And then I'm like, well, while I'm at it, why not honor the spirits? Why not do this? And you're talking about creating an altar. And then this card comes up.
That's so cool.
Better way for manifestation, right? We're talking about manifesting, creating, being the best version of ourselves. Well, why not? Why not? Thank you, spirit. Like, thank you, whoever it is, or, whatever you believe in, like create that sacred space, even if it's just within inside of your heart, right? Honor that, because we're in the time of abundance.
That was the last card you drew?
Yep.
Oh, wow. No, we are that. Oh my gosh. Those are cool cards. And you know what? You just drew like everything I said.
Literally, it was the whole storyline. That's why I was like laughing, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, literally just confirming every single point that you just said. Your intuition is spot on, girl.
Wow, that's good. Cause you know what? I woke up this morning and I had a headache. I think because I don't know. I didn't eat really well yesterday, so I had a headache. But anyway, and then I was just struggling getting things going, and I was like, I don't even know. But mornings are just my thing. I'm so much better. It just feels like things are coming through before the other stuff of the day gets in my way.
Mhm.
So I love to hear that confirmation. Thank you. But wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
because this woman I was listening to, she was doing a divine masculine and a divine feminine tarot card this morning for the Lionsgate portal.
Yeah.
And which I thought was interesting. And I haven't really done any podcasts on this, but I've been wanting to. I'm very, very into this idea of the divine masculine and feminine and working together. And because we do, and when we don't recognize that, like an altar, for instance, that's a container. That's the divine masculine. You are asking the energy of what you're putting in there to be in this sort of container, in a sense. It doesn't have to be like a solid, you know what I mean? It's not always a solid thing. It's like, just this is the area that this energy will be manifested. I will create within this energy. A kitchen can be a container. You create food within a kitchen. It's all, you can't create food if you don't have a kitchen. You can't create, energy in an altar if you don't have an altar space. Like it's, you know what I mean? So even like you said, even if it's just in the heart, imagine your mind just creating a container of, this is where the energy is going to manifest through. I want this to be, focused on this energy or desire or whatever. Right. So I was fascinated the fact that she did that. And then the idea that, never really paid attention to this Lionsgate's portal. I knew about it. And I remember last year, but this year being a 2022 year, 2 represents the duality. And, so I just really feel like and let's see, 8/8/2022, what would that be? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Did you get that? That's 22. I have to do like two, I have to add it together. 8 and 8 is 16, right? So August 8th. And then 222 is 6. So 6 and 8 is what?
It's 22.
It's 22. Yeah. I can't add it that way. I'm too, like I said, I had a headache this morning. I'm a little out of it. Yeah. So we are literally in a very, very, very high. Now, if you take 22 and you make it into a 4, 4 is about building structure. Yep. But then you have the 2, it's about duality. So we're really, I guess I'm going to share, because I'm on an intuition roll here. I'm just going to say that, because I've noticed that these little things show up and then somehow I'm talking about it. Like this morning, it was about duality, and she was talking about divine feminine, divine masculine. I was talking about that yesterday with somebody. So I'm going to really, for if anybody listening to this, and I'm going to encourage you to, if it feels resonant, to look at your life and say, okay, if there's something that you're wanting to manifest, am I manifesting it am I focusing my attention on in a way where I understand that I'm creating, oh, he's so sweet. That's okay. Hey, I have 3 of them and they're trapped outside this door and they're whining. So you just can't hear them. This idea of saying, I want to create something, but you cannot create, that's okay. You cannot create what your dreams are if you don't have a container to put it in. So example, I'm just trying to give an example because that sounds kind of cryptic. Say you want a new job. You're in your job and you don't really like it. You're like, well, how do I go about like doing that? Well, it's not about saying I need to leave my job and go get a new one. That's a container I'm going to work within. Maybe that's not something you can do right now. So this masculine container, and I'm just using the word container, you can use whatever word you want, is or space, or whatever, is it could be in your heart. Like you said, it could be like, I'm going to go into work with this new idea that I'm creating within what I desire, what I want,
Right.
within my space. So maybe it's you going in with a different attitude. Maybe because I know that I'm creating what I want, a new job opportunity or a new placement within the job I have or whatever. I'm going in with like, my container, the auric field around me
Right.
is solid and strong, and within it I'm creating.
Right.
Where before you might have gone in with like a lot of holes around your auric fields, just allowing all kinds of crap and people to bring their energy and infect you, and you're like, I hate it here, and I can never have control, and I can never do anything. And I think what Sekhmet was trying to tell me a couple days ago, because I was asking actually about myself and this idea, is that it's, you have this ability to create whatever you want.
Right.
You just have to know that you can. And I think that a lot of people think, well, I can't because I'm stuck. How can I create something if I'm in something horrible? I can't get out of it. I'm stuck. You're never stuck. It's about changing this and this, right? Even if it's like, I'm going to wear this. Like sometimes, I don't know, but I know you do this too. I think like sometimes you take a crystal, or you'll wear a hat, or you wear a certain necklace when you go into a situation where you feel like you don't have any sort of like control.
Yeah.
And in your mind, you're almost sort of like putting something around you saying, this is my space.
Right.
I'm not allowing this in. I'm creating within here. And when you project out this frequency and this energy of something that you want and you are creating, the world around you somehow just sort of like shows up for you.
Right.
You know this. But then when the worry and the whatever comes in, you got to just like get that out quickly, and you play with it, practice it, play with it, go to the
Right.
store, put a container around you and say, when I'm walking in the store today, everything is going to line up for me almost like weirdly perfect. I'm going to find exactly what I want. I'm going to go in, I'm going to meet this nice person. It's like and play with it and see how, and it always works, but you have to. So with the big things in life, the things that we really, really want, this is the time where we really can, but just focus exactly what you want. Don't focus on what you don't want, and create the altar. An altar, again, is just a space that you're creating outside of the inside. But we are such powerful beings that like whatever we think about, we create, right? Yeah. So
and check that out. My girlfriend and I, we play this game whenever we're driving somewhere, and she'll pick a number and I'll pick a number, like my current number right now that I'm looking for is 012, and hers is 853. Right. So, and when we're in the car, we'll be driving around together, and a license plate, an address, like, something will pop up, someone will drive by with an ad. I'm like, oh, their phone number has da 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 da, and it'll just, the more you do it, the more it'll pop up. And then you get super excited about it, and you're like, okay, I'm going to pick a hard number this time.
Right.
And you do it, and it literally is like right around the corner, and you start laughing and, doing little games like that, and I do with my kids. I'm like, okay, what are we manifesting today? Like, what are we looking for today? And, my son will be like, oh, I want to see a blue jay, or, bluebird. And my other one will be like, I want to see a balloon. And, as we're driving through our day, like, we'll all get so excited when we find our thing and we point it out, and the universe loves to play with you like that. So try it out with small things. If you're scared to manifest your dream job right now, which I would highly recommend doing a vision board or something, I would recommend putting effort into it. But if you're too scared, start with something small, like manifesting a number, manifesting a free cup of coffee, or whatever it is. Like, start with the small things to work yourself up to the big goals, because the universe is willing and ready to, support you and be there for you right now. And I have
and shit, Mariah, we're moving into like some big, like, this is a new beginning. I know this sounds like some people, okay, like you could go way off the chart and you could be like in the lane. Okay. So we're talking in the lane right now. We're being very, very PC in the lane, very like, soft around it. But there's and you probably, that's why you're laughing, because you know what I'm going to say. There is some serious shit going on
Mm-hmm.
that's changing our freaking world. Like, it's so, I
Yeah.
guess what, I guess in the nicest PC way, this is a great time to manifest, but it's not even just a great time to manifest. There is a huge shift on our planet that's happening energetically. And this is the time where we're all going to either up level and we're going to go into that thing we've been hearing about forever, this new fifth dimensional energy full time, and all of those who are not willing and ready to move in there. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just they're not ready. They're not coming with us. And I don't know what that looks like, other than the fact that people are just not going to be in your life anymore, or they're going to go off and do something. Or like, say you're in a job with people, because I'm like this right now. Like, I have people in my life where I'm like going, you're not going to do it. You're just not, you're not there. It's okay, but you're not.
Right.
So
yeah,
you've been in my life for like 15 years, and where are you going? Like, I'm like, so how does this look? Does it look like me not being in that environment anymore?
Right.
Or is it that person decides to move out of that environment? I'm really excited and curious to find out what it is, but there's some heavy duty stuff going on. And I'm going to tell you, all the TV and movies out there. In fact, I almost want to do one on this. It's insane because, like, there are shows out there showing us what the timeline could have been or will be for those who aren't up leveling. And it's like, I don't know. And I should say up leveling, it's not like you're better than me. And I think I want to really make that clear, because there's a lot of people who are just waking up now, to like the fact that there's just things that have been going on in their life are not what you thought they were.
Yeah.
And the world is not what you thought it was. So it's not that you're behind the eight ball. It's more about, like, when you're open and willing, you're going to be fine. You're going. You're going to be going where you want to go. It's those who are determined to not go, not open up to the possibilities and everything else. But it's crazy out there. Like, there's a lot of those seedy energies. They just don't have control over us anymore. They don't. Yeah. So take your power back, be the lioness, be the lion, whatever you want to look at it. But know that's why I think this lion portal is so interesting, because I drew that card. I'm really into the lions right now. It's like, just that you think about a lioness. She's like, she's smart, and she's calculated. Yep. She is the matriarch, the healer, the one who hunts and nurtures and supplies. It's that, yeah. Anyway, I would say draw on that.
Yes. Embrace part of yourself, because we all know that we have it. And, like the cards and everything said, just let things roll off of you, put in the time, the effort, the work, the inspired action, reach out to those around you for support and guidance and a little bit of cheerleading, and know that this next few months, this next phase of your life, you're really going to start seeing some things in the physical. And,
what do you think about the fear? I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. Yeah. What do you think about the fear? Because the fear to me feels so like they're just trying so hard to keep us in fear. I mean, this agenda of like continuing the pandemic and just the stories. It's like fear, keeping fear. And I'm like,
well, what fear is what? False evidence appearing real, right? Yeah. So that's literally all that is. And it's like, what I've been telling, people that I've been doing readings and stuff for, is that it's the last ditch effort, because, the quote unquote war between the light and the dark has already been fought. It's already been won by the light. Like the dark, I mean, it's.
Yeah. That's really important. What you just said. I just really, really want people to hear that.
Yeah.
It's over, and the light one.
Yes.
And so you have a choice to believe, lean into
Right.
that. Yeah.
They, like be that good, amazing person that you are or not. But I mean, it's already done. It's already over with. It's already closed. So, just really know that this is the time. This is the era. I know you hear this a lot, but this really is what we've all been waiting for, what we've all been manifesting. And I know it does not look like that in the moment. I get that.
They're trying so hard. It's like disgusting. It blows my freaking mind. Yeah.
But you don't put energy into that. Don't feed that, because that is the last ditch effort to keep your vibration low. Because when your vibration is lower, your energy is lower, and you're able to, have more of that stuff like seep into your reality, seep into your presence. And then what are you projecting? What are you manifesting? You're manifesting lower vibrational things, because that is the level that you're at. And when you're at that level, things of that level can communicate, can talk, can enter your space. If you're of a higher vibration, they can't, you know what I mean? Like I can't even see them, like I cannot even physically see them. Like I can feel that there's a presence. I can feel that there's things in the room, and, there's things that I don't like. And I know that I need to clear the energy, and I know that I need to do my things in order to make the space better. But I don't see that no more.
No, I actually, it's interesting. You said that. Yeah. Cause I know that that's always been a thing. Like if you don't attract, it's like attracts like. So if you don't hold that in you, but we all go through those down times where we're holding it, or we're moving energy out, or whatever, grief or whatever it is. And we're feeling low, and we tend to notice that we're attracting more. But
notice that. Don't beat yourself up about that, and then change the vibration and bring yourself back up to that different spot.
Yeah.
Especially during this energy, because the good is here, the abundance is here, the luck is here, everything is here, and you want to be on that level of attracting that.
I would say then, you know what, like and the cards kind of said it as well, like just stay present, because the present is your present. I've been wanting to say that again. The present is your present. Because really it's like yesterday, my daughter and I went to the lake, and I was just like, kind of like, oh, I have all these things to do, and she really wants to go. I have to like make all these adjustments to do it. And I was so glad I did, because I was in the present. I remember just sitting there looking around, because it's so beautiful out there. And I was like, I'm in the present. This is what the present really feels like. And when you're then, and a time, I don't know if you've played this game, but I have before. And it's I guess we're in a matrix, so we're always in some sort of game in the end. But this idea of like, I'm going to play a game where I'm just in the present today. And you find that all those things that you worried about or thought you wouldn't have time to finish or do, they all somehow have time to get done. It's like everything works out, because you're just focused on where you are in the moment.
Right.
And you're taking in whatever it is that feels good in that moment. And if it doesn't feel good, then get it out and get in a different present moment.
Right.
But it's, and so this idea of, I like that story. I just read it this morning, that each lion was the past and the future, and just walk through the present, and all that stuff will work its way out. But we're moving into, so this idea, to wrap up the Lionsgate thing, it's a new timeline is what they called it. So this is a celebration of letting go and bringing in the new. And I think that's why you guys are feeling extra energy around your menstrual cycles. A lot of women are probably really feeling this, because it's a really powerful, Leo also, again, is just a powerful energy. And it's very fiery, and it's very ego driven, but it's about the heart as well. It's that heart energy, even though some people might argue with me, and this is true. Like, I mean, Cancer rules the heart, the astrologically, Cancer is the moon, and it's the heart. It rules that center of your body. But the ego and the fire, the sun, it's very it's that healing or torching, but it's the heart, it's the ego. it's the how do I feel about myself? Where do I want to go? How am I doing things? So it can just feel a little intense too. My daughter hates, Leo's worse for her. It's really hard for her, Leo season. It tends to just bring on it's almost like a lion. It really is. It comes in like a lion, rare. It can be so stay, yeah, don't, for those of you who are feeling like you want to push that out towards other people, bring it all in, because it's really about you, your inner lioness sort of healing your stuff, not about other people. Nothing is about other people. It's always about you. Always about you. That's another thing that kind of came to me the other day, was just like, I mean, I know this, but when I was speaking with somebody, it's like, we're not victims of our circumstances. We are learning as we go. And this is just a really great opportunity to say, what do I want to let go of? What do I want to keep? It's not about that person hurting you. It's about you allowing that person to hurt you. Why am I doing that? That's a lot of what's going on, I've noticed. Anyway, wow. Thank God for the clouds, Mariah. Do you guys have clouds in Medford?
No, not really.
It's insanely hot. And so we're burning off, I guess.
Yes, clearing. We're clearing.
I could just talk forever with you. I haven't talked to you for so long. I miss you. So what anything else exciting you want to talk about? Or are you good?
I think that's a wrap. I think we should meet again very soon and talk about how the Lionsgate portal, now that we're in it, is affecting us. And
so absolutely, yeah. See what kind of pay attention. That would be good for everyone, actually, is to journal,
start today.
Yeah, sorry. Like what's going on. And so also there's a new moon tomorrow.
Yes.
In Leo. So Leo's about creativity. So create your altar, Mariah. Do your altar and create. And it's about creativity. It's about children. It's about
and the white butterfly fluttering by, as you said. So
many butterflies lately too. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, I guess that's it. Yeah. Just take a breath, everyone. It's going to be okay. This is actually really for our benefit. For myself, I'm like doing the same thing. I'm like, okay, now I know all this. What am I going to manage? I gotta really focus on what I'm going to pay. What do I really want? Because I've been wanting something for so long that I'm starting to see it, like, it's still there, but it's not. I feel like I'm on the precipice, but I don't know exactly where I'm going or when it's happening or how it's going to look. I'm just really trying to allow, but I think this is giving me an opportunity to really readjust what I really want.
Right.
And I encourage everyone to do that, because again, we're also in another cycle where Pluto is moving out of Capricorn. So it's gonna be what we created out into the world, because Aquarius is about the collective and the community. So yeah. Anyway, okay. Well, that was it. Looks like I lost Mariah. So I'll end this, and thank you guys all so much. I will add Mariah's information to the bottom of this video and or podcast, wherever you're listening at it. And please like this podcast if you enjoyed the information. I'd love you to subscribe. We are going to continue just sharing information as it comes to us, and hopefully you can resonate with some of the stuff that we share, and that I share as well on my personal podcast and this YouTube channel. So my YouTube is danamcclain.life. I'm sorry, my YouTube is actually Spiritual GPS, and my podcast is Spiritual GPS. So thank you so much for listening. And I hope you guys have a great Lionsgate portal and manifest your dreams and really focus on what you want. And we're at the time where things are moving fast, and manifestations are as well. So don't let this time slip by if you have the opportunity to really take advantage of it. All right. Love to all of you. Have a great rest of your day whenever you're listening to this. And don't worry if you listen to this after the Lionsgate portal, it's no big deal. You can always manifest things. And every year there's a Lionsgate portal. So you can take advantage of it next time if that's what happens. All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.